You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
It is a beautiful Saturday afternoon in the Bronx, and it is time for baseball. As the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Oakland Athletics in the middle game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with Al Leiter. I'm Michael Kay. First game of the series, Yankees couldn't get it done offensively. They lost 2-0. They'll try to even it up today on this Saturday matinee game. And let's take a look now at the New York Lottery pitching matchup. Former Yankee Bartolo Colon has gotten off to a good start with the A's 3-0, 3.38, and Phil Hughes 0-2 with a 4.67. Although, Al, he doesn't have any wins, his last couple of starts, he's pitched very well.
He has, Michael. His last three starts, no decisions, but you could see it coming along. He did have the back issue in spring training, maybe started the season a little sooner than maybe perhaps his back was ready. Good fastball slider combination, loved it. Nine strikeouts, gave up the 2 runs. He left the game 2-1. He had a pitch count issue, 111 pitches in the 6 innings that he pitched. But I'll tell you what, when Phil Hughes attacks the zone the way he did against the Blue Jays, awfully tough to hit.
So he goes for a win, tries to even this series. The captain missing these games, and it's killing him. But we caught up with the captain yesterday. We'll check in with Derek Jeter in just a moment right here on Yes. Today, our very own Meredith Moragovitz had an opportunity to catch up with the captain, Derek Jeter. Here's some of that conversation.
We've seen you in the dugout talking to the teammates. It seems like guys continue to come over to you, especially after at-bats. Are you doing anything like in helping them kind of figure out pitchers, or what's it like being in the dugout?
Well, you just try to have fun. You just want guys to have fun. Some guys ask questions. But for the most part, I'm here just to try to keep them loose a little bit. But the team's been playing well, so I'm just happy I get a chance to sit here and watch.
Anybody on this club right now that surprised you? Who surprised you the most so far this season?
I don't necessarily know if you could say there are any surprises because, like I said, the guys that are out there on the field performing, they've had a lot of success in the past. So I guess it's surprising how many people are getting hurt. I think that's the biggest surprise, but how guys are playing isn't much of one.
Well, then let me ask you, who's impressed you the most might be the better question.
I don't know if you can say the most. A lot of guys, Vernon's swinging the bat well, Lyle's doing well, Hafner's doing good. I mean, these are all guys that, had their share of injuries in the past, but when they're healthy, they put up the numbers, and they've been doing that this far.
This team will head to Colorado and then to Kansas City. When they're on that road trip, will you head back to Tampa, or will you stay here and continue some rehab?
Why am I going to put my information out on the street so you can follow me down there?
I mean, I wasn't going to follow you. I know there's some people from the Post that might follow you.
I'm just playing. No, I'll be back in Tampa, and then when the team comes back, I'll be back.
Well, coming up in just a moment, we're going to have some baseball here at Yankee Stadium. In fact, lineup's first pitch baseball coming up next, right here on Yes. See your business's cash flow like never before with PNC Cash Flow Insight. By Geico, 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the New York Yankees. It is indeed Yankee Stadium, the site of the Yankees and the Athletics today on a Saturday in the Bronx. A beautiful day for baseball. Yankees lost yesterday 2-0, so trying to rebound today. Let's take a look at the A's starting lineup, put together by manager Bob Melvin. John Jaso will catch. He'll lead off. Jed Lowry, the DH, bats second. Batting third and playing center field, Yoenis Cespedes. Brandon Moss at first base will clean up. Batting fifth, playing third base, Josh Donaldson. Seth Smith in left field will bat sixth. Batting seventh, playing right field, Josh Reddick. Adam Rosales, the shortstop, bats eighth. And batting ninth and playing second base, Eric Sogard.
Phil Hughes on the mound, making his sixth start. Coming off a nice start against the Blue Jays. Still hasn't recorded a win in the win column. ERA coming down after his first two starts. Much more aggressive.
So John Jaso digs in. Hughes looking for his first victory of the year. He's ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is a strike, and we're underway.
Let's take a look at Phil Hughes' scatter report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Swing and miss. I said about that Blue Jay start. 15 swing and misses, 9 strikeouts. Had his dominant stuff. Good fastball slider combination. May Flowers in his career, he's 10-5. April not so good. He was 4-11 in his career with a 6.4 ERA. And solo in the Bronx. Of his 5 home runs he gave up this year, they've been solo home runs, all at Yankee Stadium.
Jaso with a high fly ball to right. Suzuki back on the track at the wall, and he makes the play for the first out.
These scatter reports have not been so good at times, I guess, from the Yankee perspective. I said solo home run. Ichiro stealing, robbing a home run. Potential home run there from John Jaso. Gets back to the wall.
Let's take a look at it on Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Al, I think that was gone.
Wow. That would have been 6 solos. Nice play, Ichiro.
Here's Jed Lowry.
When you look at last night, right? The first pitch of the game from CC, Adam Rosales, home run, left field. He's winning 2-0. How about Jed Lowry? Here is a guy, Red Sox farmhand, kind of bounced up and down AAA big leagues, gets traded away to Houston, eventually to here in Oakland.
Newest Yankee Chris Nelson is there, and he'll make the play for the second out. Let's check out the defense behind the Yankee right-hander. The newest Yankee is Chris Nelson. He's at third. Eduardo Nunez at short. Robinson Cano at second. Overbay is at first. We'll go in the outfield. Ichiro, Gardner, and Wells right to left. Stewart behind the plate again. And Phil Hughes is on the mound. That brings up Cespedes. 0 for 3 yesterday with 2 walks and a run scored. Home plate umpire Tim McClellan missed yesterday's game because he was caught in a snowstorm, I believe, in Iowa. Couldn't get out in time. That one's looped up the middle and past Cano into center field. A base hit for Cespedes.
Snowstorm in Iowa in May. Wow.
It snowed in Kansas City the other day. It snowed in Denver. So Jordan Baker actually filled in for him. He's a AAA umpire that comes back and forth, and he and CeCe got into a little shouting, and CeCe sometimes yells at himself when he makes a mistake, and he yelled into his glove, and Jordan Baker started yelling back at him, and then CeCe said after the game, "I'm a grown man, don't yell at me. I wasn't even yelling at him." He said he's got to not be worried about what I'm saying to myself as Brandon Moss swings and misses. So McClellan's back and Jordan Baker back in AAA. .94 miles an hour by Hughes, and the count 0-2. So he's ahead on everybody.
Yeah, good life too. Not only the 94, Michael, you see the action on the ball, how it's tailing away from the left-hander. Good late life. Much more aggressive, feeling better. Had the back injury in spring training.
The 0-2. What I like early, Al, is that one of the problems where Phil ends up getting a high pitch count, 0-2 always turns into 3-2. He always nibbles on 0-2, and you look up and he's got a full count. Now he went after Jaso with an 0-2, almost hit it out, but it was an out. And now he's throwing strikes to Brandon Moss on 0-2.
Well, that's legitimate, Michael. You know, when you have a guy like Phil Hughes with a plus fastball with 2 secondary pitches, there you go. He keeps attacking Brandon Moss. 95. I don't know if it's necessarily nibbling. I hear you loud and clear. I was one of those guys. You got to a chance at 2 strikes. You know, you're so ingrained in your pitching life. You know, you're in a pitcher's count. You want to expand the zone. Expand the zone, something off the plate, right? You want to stay away from the middle. If you got a curveball slider like Hughes does with a changeup, you have 4 pitches to go to.
Drilled deep to right field, and it's a foul ball.
Wow.
Well, here's my thought on that, Al. I wonder if you agree. Since we're so much wed to pitch counts, you've got to change that philosophy. A pitcher can't be chastised if he gives up a hit on 0-2. You want to keep pitch count down. You want guys to give you length. Meanwhile, they're wasting 3 pitches sometimes to a batter after an 0-2 count.
Yeah, you know what, Michael? That's a good point, because of the pitch count, I think if I were pitching today, I would be far more cognizant of pounding the zone, not worrying about wasting pitches, because it does matter now. And I'm not saying it didn't matter then. I mean, I'm a guy that pitched 162 pitches one time, so I guess in some instances were examples of guys going, you know, 130, 140 often, more often than today. But that's a good point. Well, look at Phil's last game. He gave up 2 runs, 111 pitches in 6 innings. It's a good start. He had to get out of the game. The 111 pitches cost him an extra inning.
Right.
And those are the games that, when you have an opportunity to snatch a win, you left 2-1 down. The Yankees won the game late, 3-2. That if you could get through the 7th and maybe lucky enough to get through the 8th, and your team comes back and scores a run for you, that's satisfying. But not with high pitch counts early in the game.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt, and Moss could not hold up. In fact, he went right through. No runs a hit, 1 man left. A's nothing. Yankees coming back. This Yankees starting lineup and try to get it out, and the lineup is presented by Lexus. Brett Gardner, the center fielder, leads off, batting second, playing second. Robinson Cano. Vernon Wells in left field. He'll hit third. Cleaning up the DH, Travis Hafner. Ichiro Suzuki's in right field. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing third base, Chris Nelson. Lyle Overbay at first base, bats seventh. The number 8 hitter is the shortstop, Eduardo Nunez. And Chris Stewart will catch. He's going to bat ninth.
Bartolo Colon, a 39-year-old veteran right-hander from Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, First year in the big leagues, 1997, 16-year Major League veteran. You see the very good numbers, 3-0, then respectable year. How about that? The 1 walk in 32 innings. That's phenomenal. Let's take a look at the pitcher scout report. Brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. No free passes. Last year at 1.4 walks per 9 was the lowest of his career. How about right now, Michael? 0.3 base on balls per 9 in the 32 innings. Coming at you, 91% of his pitches this year, fastballs. It's the highest among qualified Major League pitchers. And ahead of Mo. How could he be ahead of a reliever? 2005, Bartolo Colon won the Cy Young, and Mariano was second. And that's how he was ahead of Mo. Bartolo was 21-8 that year.
Well, if you watch Colon, it is proof positive for young pitchers. You can just throw fastballs and place them well and get people out. And he doesn't throw like he used to with the Indians at 97. He's about 91, 92 maybe. But he spots the fastball. He's aggressive with it. You can get people out with the fastball.
You know, when I saw the Elias note on that, I know, you know, what you just said is true. You teach any little league or high school pitcher, throw strikes, get ahead with the fastball. And as you say it, Mike, here we just seen 90, now 89 miles an hour. So, you know, it's not a blow-away fastball as he once had when he was winning Cy Young once upon a time. But what he's done is he used to be a real kind of a short arm, you know, come at you, four-seam guy. You know, now he's got a lot of movement. And that little comeback two-seamer that he's throwing, you see it often with right-handers. Inside to the left-handed hitter, and it locks him up. He's done that very well the last few years. He did it well with the Yankees when he was here.
Grounded to first, knocked down by Moss, makes the play. 1 away. Well, let's check out the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 64 degrees, humidity is 44%, wind 11 miles per hour. There's not a cloud in the sky, as you can see, and it's a great day for baseball. Now, Bartolo Colon actually missed the first 5 days of the season because he was serving out a suspension, the end of a suspension that he started last year. So he had 45 games at the end of last year and then 5 in this season. And he's bounced back nicely. Doesn't seem affected by it at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, the PED testing that's in place in Major League Baseball, the most stringent of all of organized professional sports, was effective. He was found with testosterone, high levels of testosterone in his test, and he paid for it. 45 days, as you said, Michael, last year.
Ground ball is second. Sogard for the second out. Let's check out the Athletics defense behind Colon. In the outfield, Smith, Cespedes, and Reddick, third to first. Infield, Donaldson, Rosales, Sogard, and Moss, third to first. I was left to right in the outfield. Jaso behind the plate, and Colon is on the mound.
Well, so far, he's not 91%. He's 100% of his 7 pitches, all fastballs.
Here's Vernon Wells. Wells has yet to get a first inning hit this year, 0 for 12. Count 1-0. Now he has one. A 2-out single for Wells.
There you go. Stats made to be broken, right? 0 for 12 and first inning at bats. 1 for 13. Let's take a look at this fastball. You know he's going to get a fastball. Outer third, right over Bartolo's head. Nice smash. Good approach. Thinking middle of the field. And that ball, late movement. Watch out there. That ball's coming at you.
Now, Joe Girardi mentioned this before the game. Colon is a really outstanding fielder. I mean, you might look at him and say no, but he gets off the mound quickly. He fields his position beautifully. Do not be fooled by how he looks. He can really handle the glove. There's a strike to Travis Hafner.
You know, not only that, Michael, you know, these are the little things that if you get to the level where Bartolo Colon won a Cy Young, that you try to perfect. Controlling the running game, as you just said, can field the ball. You might think, you know, lay down a bunt because he's a big guy, maybe can't move around. But how about this? He hasn't allowed a stolen base his last 123rd, well, now 130 innings. if you look at his leg kick, and first base coach Nick Kelleher, and you go over the scout reports aside from what the repertoire is, but can you run on him? And most of the time, if there's a bad running percentage by the catcher, it's a pitcher that's not holding runners. Watch his quick little leg kick.
Ground ball to second base. Sogard on the outfield grass. He gets Hafner, and that will do it. No runs a hit. One man left. We played one. Let's go to the second. No score in the stadium. Watch live Yes Network Yankee games on your PCs or laptops with Optimum Online. Get a full season of live Yankee games on the go for just $29.99. If you're an Optimum customer who watches Yes on Optimum TV, go to YesNetwork.com to get more information and subscribe now. Each team with a hit in the first inning. Neither team was able to score a run. We go to the second, and Josh Donaldson will lead off. Count 0-1.
You look at this Oakland A's team and you say, okay, you go around the horn. Last year, 94 wins. They win the West. And it's a team that, you're not going to see superstar players. I think the most special talented player on this team is Yoenis Cespedes, who they signed as a defected player from Cuba. And I think as you go along and watch baseball now, Michael, especially with now the PED testing in place and home runs don't seem as prevalent or as often, or guys don't look like action figures, you look for clubs that are trying to find versatile players. And I think Billy being the architect of this franchise, now he's got Bob Melvin, who was the manager of the year last year. You look for versatile players. What is that? Guys that aren't necessarily going to go long ball often. You use the whole field. Fundamentally sound. And I think the energy of what that team brought last year and the excitement for baseball as a whole, I think, is now kind of the new blueprint for a lot of franchises. I'm not saying you're not going to have teams that can afford the big players. They're certainly going to go after them. But what Oakland did and the Baltimore Orioles did, I think there's a lot of clubs that are looking at that saying, hey, how do we get that same kind of formula? This is a team that historically has always had the lowest or near the lowest payroll. Last year they were 29th in baseball.
Ooh, strike three. Donaldson down looking. On September 24th, the Rangers had what seemed like a insurmountable 5-game lead over the A's. But then the A's stormed in the final week of the season and beat the Rangers out by 1. And then the Rangers ended up losing the wild card game to the Orioles. So an unbelievable collapse by Texas.
And they did not have an easy stretch. If you remember last year, they had to go. They came to New York at the end of the year, Boston, and then they went to Detroit. Tough ball clubs, and they go back and they had to sweep Texas to win it.
Count 1-1. Driven out to left field, long run for Wells. Can't make the play. He thought he had it in his glove. He still does. Now he'll scramble after it. And Smith is at 7 with a double.
Vernon went a long way to get this ball, and at the very end, let's take a look here. It looked like he had a little bit of a backhand as he went down, slid to get it. It was in his glove, and momentarily Vernon thought he had it right there. Obviously pulled his glove up. Nice effort. Yeah, when he hit the ground, the glove scraped on the grass and ball kicked out. He went a long way. He was playing straight away on left field. That ball just on the inside foul, part of the foul line there.
That'll bring up Josh Reddick. Josh had an unusual experience trying to get to the stadium today, and got into a cab in the city and asked the cab driver to go to the stadium. The cab driver said, "I have no idea where it is." And now his day got worse as he flies out with a runner in scoring position. He is now 0 for 31 here at the new Yankee Stadium.
One of those players that the A's picked up from the Red Sox and had a monster year last year.
Not having it this year.
No. So far.
Still early.
Wait, so he got in the cab, I assume Midtown, wherever the A's are staying, said this stadium.
Right. Cab driver said he didn't know where it was.
We put Yankee in front of the stadium?
I have no idea. Just going by his tweet. Now you wonder if the cab driver was actually being legitimate, because a lot of cab drivers don't want to take you somewhere where they don't get a return fare back. So that's a wasted time. I'm not saying that that's the case in this case, but
that's happened to you.
You would, of course it does. Yeah. When I used to live in the Bronx, you know, and come back from a road trip, I'd get in a cab and say I want to go to the Bronx. At the airport, no, they just say no. Now it's illegal. You have to take you where you want to go, but they don't want to take you someplace where they don't get a return fare. Which I guess I understand.
Cab to the Bronx? You didn't have car service?
It's when I was a newspaper writer. The 1-1. 1-2.
Last night's game, 15 career home runs, Adam Rosales. First pitch, CC threw. Solo home run to left. And this is a guy that sprints around the bases. Kind of fun to watch if you're someone who wants to see something other than the slow Cadillac walk, jog.
Two, swing and a miss. 94 miles an hour. Rosales down swinging. No run to hit. One man left. We're going to the bottom of the second. Ichiro will lead off. Prius is the official hybrid of the Yankees. Go to Yankees.com/Prius to enter for your chance to win the Yankees Prius plug-in. Here's how we started the conversation. Are you surprised at how competitive the A's are in the American League West, given their low payroll? Why or why not? One of our answers came from Cliff33 Lutfi. No, they've carried over their form from last season, and their pitching has been good again, too. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going. Ichiro fouls one straight back here, just under our booth.
Well, that was definitely true last night. A.J. Griffin, the young right-handed pitcher that the A's threw out last night, 7+ innings, shut out the Yanks.
Driven to right field. And a hooks foul.
Pretty good numbers. 3 home runs. So far of his 16 pitches, Bartolo Colon, it's all fastballs. But if you notice, there's 2 different types of fastballs. He's thrown 89. That last one was 93.
The 1-2. Foul ball, still 1-2. Chris Nelson, the newest Yankee, is on deck. Back to Cologne. 1 out. And now we get a look at Chris Nelson, acquired from the Rockies. A former first-round draft pick. Was designated for assignment. The Yankees short on versatile infielders. They had Corbin Joseph, who could only really play second. So Brian Cashman made this deal for Chris Nelson. And that's what he had done in the early going for the Rockies. And here he is starting at third and batting sixth. Count 0-1.
Not only a first rounder, Michael. Chris Nelson, 9th overall in 2004 draft by the Rockies. Ended up being mostly just a versatile utility infielder. Playing mostly third base, second, shortstop.
There's the resume on Chris Nelson. 4 seasons with the Rockies. And the trade was for cash or a player to be named.
Sometimes when you're a high draft pick and it just doesn't pan out. When you're first round pick, 9th overall in the country, you know, there's high expectation, especially from the organization that you're drafted by. You know, he just hasn't met that yet.
Fly ball to Cespedes for the second out. Shows you how inexact the baseball draft is.
So true, right? How the most difficult, I think, I don't know as much about hockey, but I know with the NBA and NFL, you could pretty much see as the college great athletes. It's the minor leagues for their professional sport, not baseball. You need to spend time in minor leagues, experience all of this different aspects of the game. And you're right, Michael. How many first rounders or high draft picks that can't miss prospects?
Miss.
Yeah, miss often.
No, they miss in the NFL. I mean, Ryan Leaf is a perfect example, the quarterback who ended up being a bust. But I'd say that this is more of a projection guessing game, because how you do in high school or how you do in college really doesn't always translate to how you do up here. There's a base hit for Lyle Overbay. Into the gap. Cutting over is Cespedes. He gets it before it gets to the wall, but it's too deep as Overbay will get to second.
Overbay, his 5th double on the year. Another fastball down and away, stays on it. That's nice hitting, able to stay through the middle of the field. So all the late movement from Cologne. Now watch here, the ball set up away, stays through the middle. Nice hitting. Cespedes trying to cut that ball off. Once it's in the gap with any decent speed, that's an easy double. 5th double on the year for Overbay.
Here's Eduardo Nunez, runner at second. Just moving around the fastball. Nunez looking for his first hit this year with runners in scoring position. He's 0 for 15 in these spots. Overall having a bad year offensively, 197. There's a ground ball short. Rosales across the diamond, and that will do it. So Nunez now 0 for 16. No run to hit. 1 man left. We're going to the 3rd. There's no score. Hybrid of the Yankees. Enter for your chance to win the Yankees Prius plug-in. Go to Yankees.com/Prius. We go to the 3rd inning, and Eric Sogard will lead off. Swings at the first pitch and hammers it to right. Making a nice play as Ichiro Suzuki on the sinking liner. Lincoln scoreboard, there's no score. Each team with 2 hits.
There's that sinking liner. Good job. Ichiro tracks it. 1 pitch, 1 out.
He's still a pretty good right fielder.
Yes, and good arm.
Here's John Jaso. We mentioned yesterday Coco Crisp is on the DL, and he's really the only legitimate leadoff man on the roster. So Bob Melvin is mixing and matching, trying to get guys with high on-base percentage up there, which Jaso has. How many times do you see a catcher as the leadoff batter? It's happened, but certainly it's rare.
Well, Joe Madden, Jaso was in Tampa Bay. Joe Madden had him as leadoff as well sometimes. Tells you a lot, huh? Not the big, cloggy, thick-legged catcher. Quick.
And Jaso walks. One on, one out. That'll bring up Jed Lowry.
First of all, I have to say that because you know what? If I said Joe Madden
the second time.
What is it first time?
Joe Biden.
Really?
Yeah. You said our vice president batted Jaso leadoff in Tampa. A lot of your friends are going to be upset.
I'm just trying to figure out how to Madden Biden.
It's close. Don't beat yourself up.
Jesus.
One and one. What a day. Just beautiful.
Not a cloud in the sky.
Clear blue sky, sun splashed field. A little bit of a breeze to cool you down just a bit. Optimum weather for a pitcher. Hot?
I liked it hot.
Really hot, even if you were sweating a lot?
No, but I just thought, that it's easier to get loose, and the sweat was good for the muscles. Although, earlier in the year, I think because of the cold weather, hitters don't want to hit for obvious reasons, holding the back, get jammed, sting your hands. But a good, warm, hot day, get a little sweat, good stuff. Backdoor slider, I'll tell you. Phil Hughes in his last start with the 9 strikeouts is really commanding that pitch right there. Normally a slider, you see the setup away. Chris Stewart's setting up away. That's designed for exactly that. You either get a half-hearted swing, just to emergency hack, because you see the cut of this fastball. This isn't really a slider, it's really a cut fastball. Sets up away and emergency hack. Now either you miss off the plate for a ball, and now you got the inside part of the plate, because as a hitter they have to respect the fact that that pitch is in your arsenal. You may go away again. Just it expands the plate, which is the whole premise of pitching. Staying away from the middle of the plate, getting ahead, expand to the corners.
Cespedes takes high.
Without a doubt, Yoenis Cespedes is the most dangerous hitter in this lineup. Unbelievable athlete, can run, throw, very good power. You talk about what he means to this Oakland A's team. 13-3 when the A's in his 16 games this year, 95-50 in games that he's played in. Talk about a difference maker. I mean, this is the guy, if I was facing this team, I'm bearing down, watching these at-bats, looking at previous at-bats that Cespedes has done, finding that weakness, some hole in his swing.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5. for Phil Hughes. The A's strand one. We're going to the bottom of the third. No score. Medical Center Inspired Medicine. Take a look at the names on that list. And don't forget Michael Pineda and Cesar Cabral, both on the 60-day DL. Wow.
David Robertson's not on there, but he's feeling a little cranky. What, not available till Colorado?
They're hoping he's available on Tuesday. He threw off flat ground today in the outfield. Also, interestingly enough, Jason Nix was taking ground balls at first today, just to give Joe Girardi another option there.
And on this beautiful pregame,
some of the fans are hurt too.
He was the only guy that was out there earlier today, wasn't he?
Yeah,
no
neither
BP?
team took BP. It was weird. We got here early and the field was empty. The cage wasn't up. Lincoln scoreboard, there's no score. Chris Stewart leads off. Now, it's rare to see a catcher catch day game after night game, which is exactly what Stewart is doing. And Girardi said that Stewart's going to catch tomorrow. He said, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to use Romine. He said, I want Romine to get to know the pitchers. Now, I spoke to Romine the day he got called up. He said, I know these pitchers, but he doesn't know what they're doing this year and what's working for them. That one's drilled deep to left field. Fair, it's gone. Fair. See ya. 1-0 Yankees.
Well, there's a night game after a day game. And you wonder how much of there was some thought, Michael, for Austin Romine catching today. Paid off right now. Joe Girardi put Chris Stewart in there, his second home run out of the year. Fastball inside. Bartolo Colon. Ooh, look, he missed. That ball was supposed to be away and kept running in and on the hands. Nice hitting by Chris Stewart. That ball ended up in off the plate. Short, quick stroke.
Brett Gardner swings at the first pitch and lofts it to right. Reddick back, track, wall, and he makes the play for the first out. Would not have been out, but it would have been high off the wall.
I mean, the way Reddick went after this ball, you wonder, where the wind is going. He's just slowly drifting back. Ooh,
you know what? I take it back. It could have hit off the top of the wall.
Just kept drifting. Ooh.
I mean, it would have been really close. I spoke too soon.
Half-hearted effort by that Yankee fan, huh?
Here's Cano. Count 2-0. 3-0.
I know we touched on it, but I still find it pretty amazing, Michael. 35 pitches into this game, he's thrown one off-speed pitch. It was the second to last pitch where Ichiro grounded out to Bartolo Colon in the second inning. All fastballs, and they're not 95 or 100 miles an hour.
Driven out to right center, Reddick back. He's there, and he makes the play on the track for the second out. So the Yankees are on Bartolo Colon's fastball this inning. One home run, one bid for a home run, and then one bid for extra bases. And that's going to bring up Vernon Wells. He singled in the first inning. Early going, watching Wells, it would seem like Bartolo Colon would play into his hand. If you get Wells out, you usually get him out with breaking balls away. Bartolo Colon is firing fastballs out there. Hit sharply to second, but they had him played beautifully. Sogard makes the play, and that will do it. But the Yankees are 10-0 when they score first this year. And with this swing, they scored first. A solo home run by Chris Stewart. They're going to the fourth. Line quiz. Call 1-866-NY-QUIT for free help today. Jonas Cespedes finished second to Mike Trout in the 2012 American League Rookie of the Year voting, who are the only two A's outfielders to win the Rookie of the Year award. Brandon Moss swings at the first pitch and fouls it away.
We know one of them, right?
Do we?
I do.
All right.
Played for the Yankees.
Could be right. Moss struck out in the first inning. 5 strikeouts for Hughes. Moss, Donaldson, and Smith in the fourth inning. Yankees have 3 hits, the A's 2. The only run on the board is Chris Stewart's home run in the third.
Much better rhythm, tempo from Phil Hughes. Just an aggressive look. You know, I believe hitters will feast off of guys that just have doubt in their body language.
That one is looped into left field. It is going to fall in for a base hit.
Left that fastball up. Hey, Michael, I want to put kudos out for my nephew, Mark Jr. He broke this year the highest strikeout total. Look at this. NJIT senior. Way to go, Mark.
This was last night, right?
This was last night over in Newark. My brother Mark, who also played in the big leagues, his son, called me right after our game here, driving back to New Jersey, and said, you wouldn't believe it. Marky, 20 strikeouts.
That's great.
What a game. You go, Marky.
Now, runs in the family, because didn't you have a 32 strikeout game when you were in high school?
I did. Could you imagine how many pitches there were if they were doing pitch counts?
So it was an extra inning game, obviously.
13-inning game while I was pitching in high school down in Central Regional against Wall Township, and I struck out 32. The guy I was facing, John Spinapon, he was a heck of an athlete. He struck out 18. He broke a record, high school record for 50 strikeouts in one game.
So 32 strikeouts, even if those are the only pitches you throw, that's 96 pitches alone.
Yeah, I think the pitch count issue. I don't know how many scouting groups, directors or scouts were watching after that. Couldn't have been happy with my pitch count. I don't think they had pitch count. I don't even think they kept track. I think it was like a guess.
So you had
there
that.
There were no clickers. They weren't doing clickers back then.
You had that. And then in your last game ever for the Yankees, your first time around, you threw 162 pitches. It seemed like all the adults in your young life were trying to destroy your shoulder, and they succeeded.
Well, you know what? I will say this, and I'm leery of pitch counts to a point because I think you should just visually see what the pitchers are doing. But I think 162 pitches in the game is fair to say that's borderline abuse.
In April, in cold weather, in the rain.
Yes, fourth start of the year. He's trying to stretch me out. Dallas Green.
Well, he pretty much got you a 3-year rest.
He stretched me out. Yeah. Well, you know, it was almost 4. If you include the rest of '89, I had one more start as a Yankee. Got traded for Jesse Barfield, and yeah, I was broke.
So you did have one more start as a Yankee after the 162.
I did,
and how'd you pitch in that game?
You know what? I don't remember it, but I think I pitched 7 innings in Kansas City. I don't know how I did it. There's the pitch count clicker. That's got to be Larry Rothschild.
This should be 2. There's 1, and there's 2. Doubling up Donaldson.
You got him. 7th double play this season. Josh Donaldson, nice little 2-ball, catches the base in front. Well, hopefully he's all right, other than his feelings being hurt right now. A little embarrassing.
Also, Al, congratulations to your nephew, Mark Jr.
Yeah.
But because of the things that happened to younger pitchers in your time, they do have pitch counts now in high school, right? They do pay attention.
Oh, yeah, down to Little League now.
Okay.
I mean, now that it's so much better awareness of, you know, the pitching, you know, pitch counts. You know, not every coach adheres to it, which I think what concerns professional scouts, especially with the college programs. Of, you know, you're a college coach, and you know you got the demand of trying to win your conference, etc. You got a stud ace pitcher. You're gonna pitch him a lot.
In Little League now, they don't let you pitch 2 games in a row, which is a good idea for a young kid.
Little League adopted, you know, a pitch count rule to where X amount of pitches, and you have to have certain days off, and it's a great idea. And that's part of, if you go on, you know, littleleague.com, whatever it is, they'll show, you know, what they think is appropriate. And it's all come down from places like Dr. Andrews or ASMI, the place with the biomechanics place in Birmingham.
You think Mark Jr. gets drafted?
I think so. You know, he's been around, you know, as a boy. You know, when Mark was playing, Mark played with many different teams over the years. You talked about he's had 3 arm injuries early part of his career. So he's been around. He grew up in it. Good stuff.
2-2.
90-ish. Mark, my brother Mark, on the way home last night, he said in the 9th inning, a few scouts were there, and they got him. He was touching 90-91.
There must be something, Al, in the lighter DNA. You and Mark playing the big leagues. Kurt was an outstanding pitcher and got hurt. His arm got hurt.
Kurt was the trailblazer in the sense of pro ball.
Swing and a miss as Hughes is really pitching very well today. That's his 6th strikeout. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Yankees are up in this one, 1-0. Here was a question. Cespedes finished 2nd to Trout in the 2012 AL Rookie of the Year voting. Who are the only 2 A's outfielders to win the award?
Canseco and the other guy.
The other guy being Ben Grieve.
Ben Grieve, sure. His dad, Tom Grieve, the longtime GM for Texas Rangers, now broadcaster.
Ben is known to his friends, by the way, as the other guy, so. A wave there by Travis Hatton, count 0-2. Hafner was 0 for 4 last night with 2 strikeouts. He grounded to 2nd in the 1st here in this game. Three infielders on the right side. Did he go? Yes, he did. Down on strikes.
This is the 2nd off-speed pitch that I've been charting. That's a changeup. I don't know whether it was intentional. He's been throwing 89, 91. You see that movement running away from Travis Hafner. Hafner this year, after 0-2 counts, he's now 0 for 12. At 84, that I assume that Bartolo Colon did that on purpose. A little changeup.
Here's Suzuki.
There's another one.
Grounded to second. 2 outs.
Just enough movement, because it's not changing speeds. Bartolo Colon has just been coming right at these Yankee hitters. So far, the one mistake he missed big on Chris Stewart, the solo home run. See the ball running away from Ichiro. It's got the movement, but the first pitch was a changeup, I believe. It was 84 miles an hour. His second off-speed pitch since Ichiro's first at bat. He saw a slider.
Chris Nelson grabs one foul. A nice catch by a fan who brought his glove.
Well, you're coming down the line. You have a good seat like that. Nice play. There's not a whole lot of foul territory there. Oh, there's plenty. More here than the old Yankees Stadium?
I think it's about the same.
I remember bringing gloves to games. Speaking of Mark, old Yankee Stadium, Ron Guidry's on the mound. I brought a glove down the right field line. Foul ball. Mark was in front of me. I had a glove, caught it.
Really?
Yeah, and I kept that ball a long time. I was probably about 10 or 12 years old.
Foul straight back here.
I'll never forget it. We were right down. We used to ballot stuff the Burger Chef. You have 3 tickets.
Right.
And we won a few times.
Burger Chef was a place.
Burger Chef was a little place down
Jersey.
in Jersey Shore.
Chris Nelson goes down on strikes. So Colon pitching well, retires the Yankees in order. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go to the 5th. He did that on 9 pitches. It's 1-0. As well as Meredith Morakovich. We go to the 5th inning, but first we'll look at the K by K.
Yeah, it's so far nasty. Phil Hughes getting ahead in the count. That was his only one looking. Just fastball, slider. I love the backdoor slider to the left-handers. Good explosive fastball. Fastball upwards of 94 miles an hour. Had one at 95. So far, very impressive, Phil Hughes.
Reddick fouls it back. And Colon striking out Nelson, the final batter of the bottom of the 4th alley. He did throw a breaking ball there.
Yes, two in that at bat. First pitch and the last one, a little slider. So that's five off-speed pitches.
All right, Reddick's at the plate. Let's take a look at the Jeep hitter scouting report.
Yes, monster year last year. 32 home runs coming over from Boston. Really figured out his swing and his home run approach. talk about stadium struggles. Now he's 0 for 31 at the stadium. Not good, obviously. He was 0 for 11 as a Red Sox, now 0 for 20 as an A. And when you become the man, you know, so many players, when you just kind of stay under the radar, Josh Reddick, I believe, was one of those players until last year. There's something to be said for when you go through scouting reports. And Reddick right now, because he's struggling, Bob Melvin has him on the lower part of the lineup. He's really been, you know, viewed as their 3-hitter, 4-hitter, depending upon lefty-righty with Cespedes. You know, pitching coaches, pitchers, they look at you a little differently. You know, what are you hitting? What are you hitting? Just, it becomes a little more laser focus. And Josh Reddick is a guy that when he's struggling as he is now, he's a pedal to the metal guy. He's grinding it. You know, he's grabbing the bat harder, and it's just, it becomes a mental thing for all hitters. He's better than what he's shown last year with the 32 home runs and considerable damage and RBI production. You know, he batted 240 and change. He's better than what he's doing now, and I think he's just pressing. But this is really a turnaround year that he's had. Chili Davis, who was his hitting coach in Pawtucket with the Red Sox, really has helped him figure it out.
And he leads off the 5th with a walk.
You know, I talked to Chili yesterday, and you know, what a guy. I know the Yankee fans remember him during the dynasty years, if you will, through the 90s. And Chili just says, you know, often I don't try to complicate it as a hitting coach. Chili's the A's hitting coach now. I want the guys to figure it out themselves. And I think sometimes, you know, there's the paralysis by analysis where you just, you know, immediately see a guy get in a slump. There's Chili. And they all of a sudden, you know, just trying to reinvent things. And Chili said, no, keep it simple. And I remind the guys often, I know it's not that easy. I've had a lot of rough days as a major league player. And I think that's refreshing. You know, you gain a lot of confidence from your players, vice versa, for just being honest. It's not an easy game. And often, you know, you get away from it, retired players, etc., and all of a sudden you talk a good game, or you make it sound like you never made an out, or a pitcher you were perfect every game. It's not true. And now, even, you know, we talked about Yoenis Cespedes, you know, defected from Cuba. You know, the game, you know, truly worldwide. I believe the WBC is only going to create even more interest around the world.
The 0-2. Just missed.
That's a good take right there by Rosales. You have a 0-2 count, curveball, plate coverage, and he just takes it balanced. Tells me as a pitcher, this guy's looking to shorten his swing. He sees that ball down in the zone barely. Let's see if he got a call here just below the knee. Says when I see that, Michael, is that, you know, you have guys. I know Rosales had the leadoff home run yesterday. He's not a home run hitter. You know, there are certain hitters that just can't have a two-strike approach. They have their swing. They're usually home run guys, and it is what it is. They'll strike out a lot. The Adam Dunns or the Mark Reynolds of the world. And then you see a pitch like that, 0-2 count, and he takes it very balanced.
Swing and a miss.
That ball's right down the middle.
Take a look at the cold hard fact brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. And it concerns Joe Girardi. Managed his 1,000th game last night, a .574 winning percentage. And for managers since 1968, only Earl Weaver has a higher winning percentage. Pretty good company. And Earl Weaver's a Hall of Famer.
Wow, I mean, look at all those guys. Billy Martin, .553. You know, we talked about that yesterday with Bob Melvin, the manager of the year, Oakland A's manager, how it's unfair. It's reality when you have a star-studded team that, you know, high payroll, Sometimes it gets overlooked that you're supposed to win. But as you said, Michael, and I agree with you, you got to deal with the personalities. Just because it's a high payroll and supposedly the team that's supposed to win, they don't always win.
Pulled the string there in the count 1-1.
Nice change up here. Let's take a look here. This is a change up. And that's it. The location did get it done, but he's throwing 93, 94 better. Good arm speed really gets the hitter out in front.
Stewart gives it a look, but it makes the seats. Stewart with a home run in the third inning, the only run in this game. Cologne against Hughes.
Yeah, the way last night's game played out, A.J. Griffin, the young right-hander for the A's, shut him out. Yankees lose 2-0 to C.C. Sabathia, pitched well enough to win. This is the type of start, Phil Hughes, if there's a struggle for runs or C.C. You really, I know it's about mistakes or making your pitch, but the difference between one run, the way this game looks like it's playing out right now, is the difference of not just a run, but a win or a loss. For obvious reasons, a 1-0 game right now.
Popped up in the infield. Chris Nelson makes the play for the second out.
And if there's one thing about Phil Hughes, and he's proud of his stuff as he should be, he's got plus stuff across the board when you rate him out, is that sometimes you get a little careless. Fastball counts, you miss with your location, and that's the home runs. I know he's given up 5 home runs this year, only 5 solo home runs, which usually a solo home run doesn't hurt you.
The base hit up the middle off the bat of John Jaso. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. Bring up Jed Lowry.
Jumping on the first pitch. Jaso's had 3 at-bats now. You see the location, missed. Wanted the ball away. Jaso short, quick stroke, middle of the field. Nothing special, good approach.
Lowry fouls it away.
Early part of this season, Jed Lowry, the big prospect with the Red Sox, traded to Houston and now here at Oakland. Having a good start to this year, especially for first 17 games, batting over 400. His last 11, not so much. 239. Said DH. This is 3rd time in his career as DH. Middle infielder. Getting ahead, Phil Hughes. There you see his career resume. Stanford University, 1st-round pick.
The 0-2. Fly ball, fairly deep right center. Drifting back is Gardner. He'll make the play, and that will do it. No run to hit, and 2 men left. We're halfway through. It's 1-0 Yanks. 2-0. A pitcher's duel between Bartolo Colon and Phil Hughes. And the only run off the bat of Chris Stewart, leadoff home run in the 3rd inning. That's holding up so far. Yankees trying to add on. Here's Lyle Overbay. He has one of the Yankee 3 hits, a 2-out double in the 2nd. And Vernon Wells the other, a 2-out single in the 1st. Colon worked a 1-2-3 4th inning, and after Stewart's home run, he's retired the last 6 in a row. That one is driven to right field. Backing up Reddick. Track. Wall. See ya! Into the 2nd deck. Another solo shot. This one by Overbay. And it's 2-0 Yankees.
Lyle wasted no time jumping on a first pitch fastball as he figured he's looking for it. Bartolo Colon has just pounded the zone. Let's see the location here. This ball is middle of the plate, up belt high. He had a nice approach his previous at bat with the double to right center field. Immediately knew that was gone.
Pitch to Nunez outside. That one nestles nicely over the power sign. A nice catch. Count 2-0. Two and 1. Nunez grounded to short when Overbay was at second with 2 outs in the 2nd inning. Nunez is the Yankee shortstop with Jeter out last year. He played 6 different positions: second base, third base, shortstop, left field, right field, and he also DH'd. So he's done a good job defensively. He hasn't really hit his stride offensively yet. He said he's doing a good job defensively because he knows where he's playing every single day. Ground ball in the hole, backhanded by Rosales. Get him. Just got him. All right, we got some new technology here at Yes, and this is really cool stuff. And we'll get a look at it for the first time. It's called Yes View, and we're going to show you Chris Stewart's home run, almost in 3D, Al.
Yeah, this is cool stuff. The Yes View. Watch here. The foot goes down. That's a fastball inside on a 1-0 count. His first at bat. Solo home run. You see the ball connecting out in front of his front leg. It's a beautiful shot.
Nice stuff.
A little 3D, 360 kind of thing.
Baseball in the round. Chris Stewart takes high. Count 2-0.
See what a solo home run does. Being a little careful right here, Chris Stewart, number 9 batter.
Playing one.
Said about Bartolo Colon not walking anybody. He has 1 walk coming into today's game.
The A's are 5-0 in his 5 starts. He's 3-0 overall. And in his career with Oakland, they're 19-10 in his starts. Tapped slowly in front of the plate. Jaso gets Stewart for the 2nd out.
John Jaso popping out of there quickly. Chris Stewart, not the fastest guy in the Yankees, had enough time. Grabs the ball, pushes it down into the grass. Gets a good crow hop step and throw. Has a clear lane inside. A 3-0 count. I said the 32 innings coming into today. Bartolo Colon, his only walk was at Jacoby Ellsbury, the Red Sox. Michael, it looks like, you know, it really is fun to watch Bartolo Colon throw because it's textbook. I mean, he throws a lot of fastballs that we've been talking about here. 5 innings through, 60 pitches thrown. and pounds the zone.
Gardner shows strikes. That's a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. And an 0-1 count. So Gardner flirted with a home run his last time up, but Reddick pulled it in and right.
Yeah, that's the straight one. That's the one that Lyle Overbay got. He's got that really good moving fastball around that 89-mile-an-hour mark. And then the straight one, the 92, 93. So even though you jot it down as a fastball, it's really 2 pitches, and in some cases, if he deliberately takes off of it, it's really 3 pitches.
Count 1-2. When Colon was at the Yankees, he always seemed to be having a good time. Sitting in the dugout when he wasn't pitching, tossing a baseball in the air, having fun with his teammates, always had a smile on his face. Just likes being around the game. And the A's really battled last year. We showed you how they were trailing by 5 with a week to go, and they were without Colon, who was one of their best pitchers. He got suspended, as we mentioned earlier, and they still made it. They made the run without him, but they decided they wanted to bring him back and served the final 5 days of the 50-game suspension at the beginning of the year, and is a regular in their rotation. And that one's tipped into the glove of Jaso, and that will do it. So he bounces back from the home run after serving up the solo shot to Overbay. Retires the next 3 Yankees, but as we go to the 6th, it's 2-0 Bombers. The Yankees lead this one 2-0. There's a shot of the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar situated in center field. The Mohegan Sun Sports Bar is a great place to gather and enjoy the game. Beautiful Saturday afternoon in New York City. A couple of home runs by the Yankees, and it's 2-0 Yanks over the A's. Heart of the order for the A's: Cespedes, Moss, and Donaldson in the 6th. As our colleague John Flaherty would say, Phil Hughes is proud of his fastball today.
He's proud of his fastball all the time, and he should be. 58 strikes, 28 balls, attacking the zone.
Quickly ahead, 0-2.
Well, that's been the key right there. Now, of 21 batters that Phil Hughes has faced, 16 of them he's had strike one. You get strike one, strike two, expand off the plate. Tough to hit. Now, whether you're throwing 93, 94, or what we're watching with Cologne at his velocity, puts hitters in defensive mode. And with Phil, he's throwing more sliders than curveballs. You know, he's got the mix of a pitcher having secondary pitches of both the slider and curveball. It's hard to have two good pitches in that because they're different mindsets. Curveball, you want it slower, get your hand on top. Slider is really a fastball that cuts. Slider away. Fastball away. He's elevated upstairs on Cespedes. Cespedes looks like he likes that ball down in her half. He gets the ball above the letters. Just high enough. Swung through it in his previous at bat. Last night's game, CeCe had the same result with a high fastball. Watch here, high hands. You get above the belt. It's hard for him to get his hands a little higher on top of the ball. If that was a little higher, that's hard for him to get on top of it. Go a couple places here. Breaking ball down the way. Looks like he wants to go to the fastball. Ooh. Tim McClellan, longtime veteran umpire. Well, they definitely have a height. Every time when I see Tim McClellan for two things. So slow to call a strike. And the George Brett Goose Gossage incident at the old stadium. High turn.
Been around a long time.
Tim. Yes.
Amazing.
And deliberate. You know, I nice man. I didn't like the way he called because often, you know, you want the pitch to be called right away, and you don't hear it. He'll mouth strike, but you don't hear it 60 feet away.
I'm amazed that Major League Baseball allows him to get away with it. I really am. He should be ordered to call the strikes faster. Swing and a miss. Doesn't have to call that one. Strikeout number 8.
I mean, just really explosive. Phil Hughes today. I mean, this is just, here it is, hit it. Come on. It's middle of the plate, buy it. 93 with some action. It's not true straight through the zone. It's got a little tail to it. That's just beating him.
Here's Brandon Moss. High fly ball. Left field. Vernon Wells trying to angle himself from the sun. And he makes the play. You can see the sun glinting off his glasses. We all know, following the Yankees for a long time, left field at the stadium is tough. And today there are no clouds. And that tough sun field carried across the street from the old stadium because this stadium was built on the same geographic angle as that one. .93 miles an hour here as he's thrown 98 pitches. Leads 2-0, top of the 6th. Now the Yankees would like to get him through 7 because we've mentioned their bullpen is a little short. Job is on the DL. David Robertson can't pitch with the hamstring issue until probably Tuesday. He used Adam Warren for 3 innings yesterday. And through 6 innings, Hughes has thrown 100 pitches and he's pitching a shutout. As he retires the A's in order 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 2-0 Yanks. This year marks the 15th anniversary of the record-setting 1998 World Championship team, and the Yankees have a special giveaway to commemorate the anniversary tomorrow, May 5th, against the A's. First 18,000 guests 14 and younger receive a 1998 World Championship replica fan ring courtesy of Manfredi Jewels. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Robinson Cano greets Colon with a line drive to right center field that's going to roll to the wall. He has a double, and he now has a 5-game hitting streak.
First pitch, fastball, getting it, middle of the plate, head down. Nice approach from Robbie. His 10th double on the year on the Mercedes Yesmo. Beautiful swing.
Moving on up. That double tied Mickey Mantle with 344. Next up is Jorge Posada. And they're getting ready in the A's bullpen. With just 67 pitches for Colon. Vernon Wells swings and misses at a breaking ball. Wells singled in the first and grounded to second in the third.
Back-to-back sliders in a row. Starting to introduce maybe more off-speed pitches after all the fastballs. 69 pitches, 6th inning. Great ratio. 3 in a row.
Well, we mentioned earlier that Wells likes the fastball, so why throw him fastballs? Jerry Blevins up for the A's. Driven out to right field. That'll move the runner over. Reddick makes the catch. Tagging is Cano. He's going. A strong throw, but it's a little wide. So Cano at third with 1 out. MLB.TV is celebrating 11 years. Join the millions of fans and subscribe today. Watch every out-of-market game live online on your favorite mobile and connected devices in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV today. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. So down 2-0, the A's are going to bring the infield in for Travis Hafner.
Interesting. They're not going to try to create a double play scenario here. Potentially walk Hafner.
The guy on deck would be tough to double. You can do it, but Ichiro's fast.
Kind of a medium pinch. Eric Sogard, second baseman, he backed up during that at bat, or during that pitch. It's not in on the grass. Obviously, you can see that shot there, the middle infielders.
That one is looped into left field. That's going to dunk in for a base hit. Cano will score. It's an RBI single for Hafner, and it's 3-0 Yankees. And with Ichiro due up, Bob Melvin has the walk of somebody who's going to lift a pitcher, but we'll see. He hasn't signaled yet. Now he has. He's going to call on Blevins to get out Ichiro. Decent start for Colon, but he cannot win this one. 5 against the A's. Monday's a travel day and then a road trip. 3 in Colorado, 3 in Kansas City, and then a doubleheader. Makeup doubleheader in Cleveland on the 13th. Well, Bob Melvin said at 3-0, and the way Hughes is pitching, I got to stop it right here, so he makes the call to the bullpen. Brought to you by AT And he brings in Jerry Blevins. And Cologne went 5 1/3, 6 hits, 3 runs. Didn't walk a batter, of course, just 1 walk all year. 3 strikeouts. He threw 73 pitches.
Lefty specialist Jerry Blevins had a nice year last year for the A's. 5-1 with a 2.48. Continuing, tough left-hander, throws across his body, low 3/4.
Pitch inside to Suzuki, 1-0. Lefties don't really neutralize Ichiro. 375 against lefties early going, but 6 for 15 lifetime against Blevins.
Well, Blevins, unlike Sean Doolittle last night, doesn't overpower guys. Movement, changing speeds. That's about it right there. 89. He's got a good changeup. Curveball changeup combination.
Gets the outside corner with the fastball, 3-1. Hafner's on first, just picked up his 18th ribby. And that ties Cano with the most on the team. Slowly back to Blevins. He makes the out at first as Hafner moves to second. That'll bring up Chris Nelson in his Yankee debut. 0 for 2, fly ball to center and a strikeout. Tim McClellan does not bend down with the brush to clean off home plate. He'll kick it clean. About 6'6", and doesn't want to bend over to do that. The 0-1. Moss gives it a look. It's about 3 rows back. Nothing Yankees. Home run by Stewart, home run by Overbay, and here in this inning, a double by Cano and a single by Hafner. The 0-2. 1-2. Now 2-2. Hafner leads off second. The 2-2 pitch. Another foul ball. So Nelson putting together a nice at bat. Nelson took the space on the roster from Corbin Joseph, who was sent back down to AAA. That'd be tough. You get called up, you're all excited, you're in the big leagues, and you never get a chance to get into a game. But Joseph was essentially just a second baseman. Nelson can play third, and that gives Girardi some maneuverability. Swing and a miss. Nelson down on strikes. 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 man left. We're going to the 7th. It's 3-0 Yankees. Well, we head to the 7th. Time for the game summary, brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. 3-6-0 for the Yankees and 0-4-0 for the A's. Stewart and Overbay, each with solo home runs. Hafner and RBI singles, so that's the Yankee offense. And the zeros for the A's, that's thanks to Phil Hughes. 6 innings, 4 hits. Cadillac scoreboard, 3-0 Yankees, and Seth Smith leads off against Hughes. Swings at the first pitch and clubs it to center. Gardner back. He'll make the play for the first out.
This shows you the kind of stuff that Phil Hughes is possessing today. Chris Resop warming up for the A's. Of the 24 batters he's faced, Michael, 19 of them first pitch strikes. Kind of what you teach, textbook. Get ahead. He's been aggressive. Yeah, proud of his heater, whatever you want to call it, but he's got every reason to. These tack-on runs especially really help a guy like Phil Hughes who likes to do that. Well, now we're at 20 for 25 batters he's faced, strike one. So hitters, they innately just become either defensive or swing at the first pitch. You know you're going to get a strike, but even right there. Now, I know that Josh Reddick has been struggling. He has still hitless here at Yankee Stadium. But that's a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, which is a good fastball. You see where Chris Stewart's setting up higher than high. Just ball jumps on these hitters.
Swing and a miss. Reddick down on strike. Reddick is now 0 for 32 lifetime at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, just you get a hitter as a pitcher, defensive. Beautiful, that little backdoor slider that he's thrown. Again, it's a defensive swing and puts them in position. Now the Yesmo here, good shot of that. You see the rotation of that ball that's cutting in toward the left-hander, but it's on the outside corner. Here he is, just pounding the zone.
And he's not just shutting down a punch and Judy team. The A's came into today leading the majors in runs, doubles, extra base hits, second in stolen bases, third in on-base percentage. They can hit. That one is hit to left field. And a 1-2-3 inning for Phil Hughes as the A's go down in order. A 6-pitch inning, which is what he needed with his pitch count over 100. At the end of 6.5 time for the 7th inning stretch, Yankees 3 and the A's nothing. But we're going to stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise and remove your caps? And please direct your attention to the area behind home plate and welcome an honored guest of the New York Yankees, United States Army First Lieutenant Arthur Lawson, who served in Operation Iraqi Freedom. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
Tomorrow's starting pitchers brought to you by Verizon Fios Quantum Internet. Technology that makes you feel superhuman. That's powerful. Andy Pettit will get the start against Dan Straley. 1-0, 6.35. Andy's 3-2, 3.86. We all started off at noon with the BP show, and 12:30 is the pregame show, and right around 1:07 would be first pitch. 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th on the Cadillac scoreboard. Lyle Overbay, 2 for 2 today. Now facing the lefty Blevins, swings and fouls it off. 0-1. Doesn't seem like Alfonso Soriano's been around forever.
You know what? Yes. How old was he when he got called up from with the Yankees?
Must have been in the early 20s, and I remember he would have been a hero, Yankee World Series hero. He hit the home run in Game 7 in 2001 that gave them the lead, and then Mariano didn't hold on. But that's 12 years ago.
You know, you wonder with Soriano, and I know there's contract issues that come with every player, but boy, if he was back to close to what he was, what he would potentially do for a team at the trade deadline.
I'm just rounding off. I think he makes $18 million a year, and I think he still has another year after this. That was some contract. The 1-2, 2-2. I think teams sooner or later, and I don't know if you agree, Al, would have to come to the realization that the longer the deal that you give them, at the end of the deal, you're going to be sorry you gave him that deal. As Overbase swings and misses. Soriano, 8 years, $136 million. So he's $17 million a year for the next year.
You know what? And we'll see. Year. We'll see how the trend plays out, Michael. I agree. I mean, I think about just how the long-term contracts have just gotten amazingly long with the 10-year deals.
Well, Bob Melvin is going to go to the bullpen as he goes lefty-righty. Blevins is done. Our righty coming in. In a decisive Game 7 from Barclays Center. Complete coverage on Yes starts at 7:30 with the Verizon Fios pregame, and then the big three, Ian Eagle, Jim Spanarkel, and Mike Fratello will have the call from courtside right here on Yes. Congratulations go out to the Knicks. They beat the Celtics yesterday, and they will play the Pacers in the second round. If the Nets could win tonight, they'll go to the second round, and they'll meet the Miami Heat. So a good way to start their first year in Brooklyn, or end their first year in Brooklyn with a victory, and then move on to another round of the playoffs. So good stuff for the Nets so far, as they're trying to become, I believe, only the 9th team in NBA history to come back from a 3-1 deficit. Chris Resop comes on here in the 7th for the A's.
It was good for New York basketball. It's been exciting, to say the least.
The Knicks will start their series, Game 1 tomorrow at the Garden, I think 3:30, and then the Nets would go down to Miami, and I believe that would be a Monday start. The last time there was a Game 7 in the borough of Brooklyn was in 1956. Yankees 9, Dodgers nothing. And Resop deals a strike to Nunez. Count 1-1. That one is driven deep to left center field. Giving chase is Smith on the run, and it falls on the warning track between Smith and Cespedes. Nunez is going for 3, and he will make it. really clubs this one out.
Yeah, against Chris Resop, who's been struggling big time, walking a lot of guys high ERA in his last 6 outings. That fastball, middle of the plate, up in the zone. His 3rd career triple for Nunez, first one this year. Just right, the left center gap. Cespedes as strong as arm as he had. Nunez just too fast, getting in there easily at third base.
All right, the infield is in with Chris Stewart at the plate. Count 1-0.
Just trying to preserve that run. Like I said, the pitcher on the mound, Chris Resop, has given up 6 runs in the last 7 outings. 6 walks in 6 innings.
Count 2-1 on Stewart.
Good fastball count here, but you have a pitcher that's somewhat defensive right now, and you're struggling the way Resop is. Really go with the off-speed pitch and a fastball count. Looks like this will be a slider here.
That one is looped into right field. Reddick makes the catch. Nunez just draws the throw, and then he'll head back to third.
Robbie Thompson, watch the draw the throw. Now this, you try to simulate as a runner to make the defender, Josh Reddick in this case, that you're going to run. Watch how far down he goes, an aggressive turn, shoulders to home plate. You want the outfielder to think that you're actually going. Maybe an aggressive throw, an overthrow, maybe a bad hop to the catcher. Which gets on there, tags. There's a good fake.
Here's Brett Gardner 0 for 3. Grounded to first, flat out to deep right, and then a strikeout. Count 0-1. The 0-1. 1-1. Cano is on deck.
Well, with that, Cano on deck. Let's see if Gardner will get a little fastball here. Resop elected in the same situation to go the off speed.
Grounded up the middle. Rosales, he can't make the play. It trickles behind him. A run scores. Yankees up 4-0.
I don't know if Rosales was playing the other way. This ball was hit the left side of second base, and it wasn't right over the bag. Chose to dive for it. You know, you look at guys with the range and the UZR range, you know, modes that are out there for determining how far a guy can go left and right.
That scored a hit for Gardner, and of course an RBI is 13th. Yankees keep adding on. Starting in the 5th, building a picket fence. 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th.
Yeah, let's take a look at the Yes view with the double in his last at bat. This would be a nice little 360 connect. Looking right on the front foot. It's textbook. His head is down, hands inside. That's beautiful. Now he's going to think center of the field. Look at how his head is straight down on that.
That's very cool. A new feature here on Yes. Count 1-0. Al, explain how they do that. I don't know how they do that.
360?
Yeah, tell me.
By some sophisticated, expensive camera. I could bet that camera's big.
Big camera?
Big camera. He runs around.
Really? Guy runs around with a big camera. Okay. Well, however they do it, it's great. I'm glad to have it. A strike to Cano and the count 1-1. Runner goes. Fly ball, left field. Smith puts it away, but the Yankees get another run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 man left. After 7, 4-0 Yanks. All of that adds up to a 4-0 Yankee lead as we go to the 8th. Phil Hughes has been pretty impressive today. Last 13 innings, 2 runs, 18 strikeouts. So going back to his last start. And the A's help him out with a 1-2-3, 6-pitch 7th inning. That's why he's out here for the 8th. Count 1-1. Hyundai scoreboard 4-8-0, leading 0-4-0. Hit sharply to Cano. He plays it to the side. One away.
Wow, we saw that last night.
Donaldson.
Josh Donaldson taken away from Vernon Wells. Similar shot. 1-1 count. Hot smash. Now watch Robbie go to his side. Keep his face away from it. Nice play. So like ho-hum.
Yesterday was the anniversary of Robbie breaking into the big leagues in 2005. And we showed him wearing number 14 on that day in Tampa Bay. Now he wears number 24, but there was a number between 14 and 24. And that was 22. And he had 22, and I guess was going to stay with it. And then the Yankees got Roger Clemens. And Roger couldn't get 21 because Paul O'Neill had it. Wanted 22, and Cano gave it up and went to 24 because it was the flip of Jackie Robinson's number, 42. Yankees by the numbers. What was your first Yankee number?
56.
And then you went to 28.
28.
Boone Logan and Sean Kelly getting ready.
You know, the one when I think about, back then was Manning. Seeing him at, was it 39?
46.
Oh, 46.
And then he halved it to 23.
Okay, there you go.
High fly ball. Shallow right. Ichiro calls off Cano for the second out.
You're talking about the numbers, Michael. It's a big deal for any minor leaguer against the big league camp, and most of the time you're in the 50s, 60s, 70s. But Yankees there, you see all the retired numbers. It's pretty special if you get a low number around the spring training. You come into camp, you see your number.
When you get a low number in spring training, though, that means the organization thinks a lot of you.
You mean like 2?
Yeah, they like you. But you know what's
So
weird
56,
is
not so much?
No, they didn't love you. Well, at least they didn't think you were going to stick then. But Phil Hughes has owned 65. He could have changed to a lower number, but he got 65, and he made the big leagues. He kept 65. Lowry fouls the bat. Count 1-1. Well, the Yankees have played these last 2 games and gotten a good situation out of their bullpen. You see Evan Scribner there. Yesterday they got the 3 innings out of Adam Warren, so they didn't have to deal with anybody else in the bullpen. And now they're going to get 8 full innings out of their starter here. And that's pretty darn good. Phil Hughes has a really outstanding game against a team that can score runs. 8 shutout innings. Go to the bottom of the 8th. All right, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. And we talk about Al starting with 56, moving to 28. But when he came back to the Yankees after his long career, he wore 19.
You know why, Michael?
Why?
Hey, Johnny Damon. Thanks, Bill Bolin. Whoa, Big Papi. I struck him out. I was like 45 right there. Dave Righetti. Dave Righetti was Randy Johnson. Mattingly's in there. Look at that. Now, and there's Joe.
Joe was a bench coach
He's
then.
a bench coach, yeah. Dave Righetti was my mentor. Looked up to him to this day still. He's could do no wrong. And I when I got the call from Cashman, and I don't even know if I had a choice. I said, if he can give me 19, I think that'd be really nice, special tribute honor to a guy that means a lot to me. Rags. Good stuff.
And that first game against the Red Sox on Sunday Night Baseball, you were outstanding.
I had one good game that year. That was it.
That's not true.
Couple.
Evan Scribner, the 4th pitcher, used by Bob Melvin.
What a job, Phil Hughes, huh?
Really, really strong.
Well, I'm saying what a job. I'm assuming 117 pitches. That's it, but maybe not.
Hyundai scoreboard 4-0 Yankees. I would think that's it.
I would think so, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I threw 161.
Here's Vernon Wells, 1 for 3. That one was in the first inning, his first inning hit of the year. Now 1 for 13. And Scribner deals. Outside 1-0. Two and 0. Check swing, slow roller. And Moss steps on the bag for the first out. Stick around after the last out for the WB Nation postgame as Nancy Newman recaps today's showdown at the stadium and gives you scores and highlights from around baseball. Plus, Meredith Marakovitz has the clubhouse reaction and Joe Girardi's manager's report. It's the WB Mason postgame only on Yes. Here's Travis Hafner. Dunked a single to left field to pick up his RBI his last time up. That was the Yankees' 3rd run. Came in the 6th inning.
Sometimes it's not how hard you hit it, where you place it. There's been some hard hit balls that were out today. That little tack on run by Hafner, 3rd run of the game. Well, broken back single to left field.
Count 2-1. Two and 2. Well, his breaking ball's under 70. Fastball about 88.
Both players have a good bullpen. You know, Cologne was good in this start last night. Last night, AJ Griffin pitched a good ball game, 7+ innings. got good arms out of this pen. And in a deficit of 4 runs, you're not seeing their best. Doolittle and Ryan Cook leading up to Grant Balfour.
Swing and a miss gets him. 2 outs. To vote for the Chevy part of the game, visit votechevy.com. Results would be revealed in the postgame show.
And talking about Phil Hughes, Michael, I mean, this A's lineup so far early going in this season, they most runs in baseball and RBIs, 164 runs, 154 RBIs.
Count 1-0 to Ichiro. One Ichiro today is 0 for 3. Back to the mound twice, and those sandwiched around a ground ball to 7. Grounded to third. Donaldson, the long throw, and it pulls Moss off the bag and gets by him. But backing up is Sogard. So Ichiro reaches. We'll see how they score that. And they're going to give an E5 to Donaldson. We welcome another little person into the world. Joseph and Ashley Pasante welcome a young baby boy, Vincent Joseph. All are happy and well. And for those that don't know, Joe Pasante is the guy who does Cotton Eye Joe here at the stadium.
Congratulations.
So little Vincent Joseph, welcome to the world. And Joe's brother George works on the Yankee Magazine program here on Yes. Fouled away. Into the second deck. Count 1-1. Nelson in his first game as a Yankee, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's got a chance here. His first game as a Yankee in the Bronx. See if he can get a hit. Feel good about his first game.
Looks like he's going to go 0 for 4, and that will do it here in the 8th. Yankees lead 4-0. We go to the 9th. Cespedes, Moss, and Donaldson will try to rally for the A's. series at a game apiece. Phil Hughes gave them 8 really good innings, shutout innings, and now he will turn it over to the bullpen, and Sean Kelly will try to get the final 3 outs.
Pure domination. Phil Hughes was outstanding today, Michael. Ahead of nearly every at bat that he faced. 21 to 26.
Kelly with the fastball for a strike. Kelly's strikeout pitch is his slider, but he's got a pretty good fastball. This chiropractic telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Cespedes 2 for 3 against Kelly, and we tell you that it's a small sampling, but both of the 2 home runs. Trying for number 3 right there, 2-2.
What Phil did all afternoon with that fastball by Cespedes, just a little tardy. And Sean Kelly just threw there, 93-mile-an-hour, right past him.
Line drive left field coming on. Wells is going to have to play it on a hop. So a leadoff single here in the ninth. Mariano up just in case. One more man gets on and it becomes a save situation. And Joe Girardi is not going to wait till it becomes a save situation. He's going to signal the bullpen right now. A little odd, but he wants to close this out for sure. So he brings Mo in. Kelly leaves. Enter Sandman. The music begins. Here from the stadium. Coverage starts at noon with Audi batting practice today, and then the Tri-State Ford pregame, and then the game. Only on Yes. Let me explain the save rule to everybody. You can get a save if you pitch 3 innings in the lead. When you get the final out, obviously, after pitching the 3 innings. You get a save if you come in the 9th inning up by 3 runs or fewer. You get a save if you come in the tying runs on deck. None of those apply right here. Right. So it doesn't make sense why you bring in Rivera now. Now, I know you want to close out the game, but if you're going to bring him in and it's not a safe situation, then why wouldn't you just let him start the inning?
Well, one, you want Sean Kelly to get work, but I hear you. And, you know, this day and age of saves, and Mariano's been the best that's ever been standing on a big league mound. I'm curious of this move. Because even a 2-run homer, it's still 4-2.
And Mariano historically has not pitched as well in non-save situations. There's a strike to Brandon Moss. Well, we'll find out from Joe. I'm sure Meredith will ask him in the manager's report. And if I can guess what Joe's going to say, I wanted to nail this win down, which I get. And if that's the answer, that you didn't have any faith at all in Kelly, then just bring in Rivera at the beginning of the inning. He's probably more comfortable that way. Looks pretty comfortable now, 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, if the leash was that short for Sean Kelly, a little bloop single to left field.
If it's that short, then don't let him in the yard.
I'll be curious of Joe's answer.
Two. Well, Mo didn't pitch yesterday, so I know Joe has him tomorrow. And then Monday's an off day, so he doesn't want to use him 3 days in a row early in the season, so he doesn't have to worry about that. But again, if you felt that way, you could have started the inning. The 2-2. Yankees are not holding Cespedes on at first. Overbase playing behind him. First base coach Ty Waller talking with Cespedes. Let's see if they send him on 3-2. Probably not, because a line drive would be a double play. He does go. Foul back.
If they're going to give it to you, I mean, obviously you hope for not a line drive if you're the A's.
That's something to consider, though.
Well, but you know, I think there's a higher percentage of a ground ball somewhere being a double play ball. I don't know what the percentages is over a line drive at somebody.
And Moss works a walk. Now, I know a lot of people will ask this on Twitter. No, you cannot pitch your way into a save situation, because if he came in now, it would be a save situation. Close pitch. Oh, man. Wow.
Well, we saw last night CC upset with the home plate umpire, Jordan Baker. That ball was on the plate right there. Tim McClellan missed that pitch.
Here's Josh Donaldson. Here's a ground ball short. They get one, that's all they'll get. So first and third with one man out. Seth Smith today is 1 for 3, doubled in the second, struck out in the fourth, and flied out to center in the seventh. Line drive, broken bat, single to right field. A run will score. Donaldson moves to third. RBI for Smith. The A's are on the board. It's now 4-1 Yanks.
Broken bat off of Seth Smith. Will cutter in on his hands.
And here is Josh Reddick, 0 for 2 with a walk today. First and third, one man out. Now they will hold the runner at first because they want to keep the double play in order. Gives him a strike on that one, which was farther outside than the strike 3 that he missed. The 0-1. 0-2. Ground ball is short. There's one. Not in time. A run scores. And the Yankees now lead 4-2. So Reddick just beat it out. Picks up an RBI, and the A's have a pulse.
Reddick just hitting it off the end of the bat. Nunez gets it. Ball was hit just too slow. Robinson Cano. I think he got that call right. Jerry Meals, first base umpire. Strong throw from Robbie. Yep. Beat it out.
Good call. Here's Adam Rosales. Runner at first is going to go. He'll take off for second. And he'll take second base on defensive indifference. One and one. The 1-1. Served out to right field. This should do it. Suzuki makes the play, and the Yankees win 4-2. A little sweaty there in the ninth inning, but Rivera holds on. Hughes gets his first victory of the season with 8 shutout innings, and the Yankees have eaten the series at a game apiece. They beat Oakland 4-2 today. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. The story was pitching, but a home run by Stewart, a home run by Overbay, and the Yankees added 2 more, and they get it done with a 4-2 victory over Oakland. We'll be back with an award.